welcome to Arizona Living, your life, your style. I'm your host, Kate Longworth. Back to school. Where does the time go? As we bid farewell to the summer and say hello to the classroom, we highlight those who give back their time, their energy, and resources to students, which is why we're here at Treasures for Teachers. But before we tell you about this special place, let's take a look at our lesson plan on what's coming up on today's show. We take you to a unique exhibit featuring mummies. Plus, we'll learn all about a nonprofit for teachers where school supplies are readily available. And a furniture store with a wide selection to update any home. All that and much, much more coming your way on Arizona Living. With the school year upon us, we thought we'd devote some time to educators who give so much of themselves to their classroom and to their students, but sometimes they don't have the adequate resources or supplies that they need. And that's when Treasures for Teachers steps in. I am joined now by Executive Director Barb Blaylock. First of all, thank you so much for being here. I know it's a busy time of the year for you.
Thank you for being here.
What is Treasures for Teachers all about?
So actually, Treasures for Teachers is a creative reuse center, and we provide free and low-cost supplies to educators from the community's reusable resources. So everything that you see in this building, 100% of it has been donated to us from the community.
How or why did you see a need for this nonprofit?
So I was in a classroom and I saw a teacher ask her students to get out a piece of paper and a pencil to do a project. And one of the students walked up and handed the teacher her shoe. The teacher handed the student a pencil, and after class I asked the teacher why that had to happen, and the teacher said she didn't have enough pencils, and this way she knew she would get it back for the next students. And that was the day that kind of broke my heart, and I realized that something needed to be done.
What would you say an average teacher spends, ballpark range, on supplies out of their pocket for their classroom?
So minimum probably about $500 a year, but maximum we've seen them spend up to about $3,000 a year.
So what happens if a teacher does not have these supplies? How do you think it affects the teacher and their ability to teach the students, and then also the students' experience in the classroom?
So for students, we know that if they have the supplies that they need, 93% of them will be successful in the classroom. 84% of them will come to school. So what will happen is if students don't have the adequate supplies that they need, they won't want to come to school. And so the teachers then, if they are able to provide the supplies to their students, they already are seeing an increase in attendance and participation in the classroom.
So clearly supplies, resources, they make a difference. So how exactly does Treasures for Teachers work?
Yeah, so teachers are members of the program. They pay a $35 a year membership fee, so less than $3 a month, we say. If for some reason a teacher can't afford that, we have scholarship funds from businesses and corporations and even individuals across the valley that will give us money to put into our scholarship fund, so we can make sure that if a teacher hasn't even had their first paycheck, they can come here and get the supplies that they need.
And you saw such a need for Treasures for Teachers here in Arizona. Can you just take me through how you guys have expanded your business?
We started to hear from teachers that they didn't have the time, the location was too far away, or the money to be able to make it out to our Tempe location. So we started a mobile program. So we have a mobile program called T for T on Wheels, and we're generously funded from the Thunderbird charities on that. And we're able to go to the schools and bring those teachers free classroom supplies. But that still didn't seem like enough, and so we just expanded to the West Valley. We're at the Pendergast School District in an old multi-purpose room behind their district office.
Who's eligible for this program?
That's a really good question, because we do say it's Treasures for Teachers, but actually it's anybody that works directly with students in any educational capacity. So Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, Sunday School, Park and Rec, homeschool. So if you're working with students and you need supplies, more than likely you qualify.
All right, well, don't go too far away.
Okay.
We are just getting started with Barb. I know those of you hearing this story, you also want to reach out and help, and there's a lot of ways you can do that. So more later in the show on how you can get involved and help teachers with your own treasures. As temperatures rise in the valley, so do electric rates, which might have you thinking about solar energy. Fusion Power weighs in on why solar power may be your answer.
Solar is definitely here for the long term. As the industry continues to grow, it's actually one of the fastest growing industries in America. More and more people are learning about it and seeing that there's a much better alternative to the regular utility. So Fusion Power, we're Arizona's #1 solar provider. We install more solar than any other sales company in the state of Arizona. We wanted to be able to give our customers a better option where they could get a variety of products and be able to customize the pricing according to their needs rather than trying to do a cookie cutter approach. So what we do is we start out with a consultation. Every homeowner is different because every homeowner uses a different amount of power. And so we'll sit down with the customer and take a look at their energy bill and look at their consumption over the last 12 months or 24 months to see how much power they use. And that'll tell us how many panels need to go up on the roof, which at that point we'll make a design and then set the customer up with their solar agreement. At that point we have our crew come out and they'll survey the roof. They'll take a look at the electric panel to make sure that it can support the system that we've designed, and as long as everything passes there, we'll move on to an engineered design and then send off for permit and utility application. Once we got those back, then we can get the customer installed, and then they're off to seeing some pretty awesome savings. You have to believe in what it is that you're offering. And the thing that's so great about solar compared to any other product that you can sell is it's mathematics. If I'm spending 16 cents per kilowatt hour, and now I can spend 10 cents per kilowatt hour or 8 cents per kilowatt hour, the math just means that you save the margin.
Working with so many families and being able to see the effect that we're having with families and seeing them email us and send their utility bills, referring us to their friends and family, it's really a fulfilling opportunity that we have here, which is one of the reasons I feel like Fusion Power is growing so rapidly, is as our friends and families and coworkers are participating in this process, and it's a really fulfilling opportunity to be a part of Fusion Power.
A lot of my customers have been able to reduce their energy costs by 50% in the summertime. I know that I have satisfied customers because, for one thing, they tell me directly, and then two, they tell others about me and how wonderful the process was and the relationship that was formed throughout the process as well.
I think what sets us apart from other companies is just educating our people in the right way so that they can give the right service to our customers. You really want to make sure that you're talking to someone that's a professional and an expert in the field so that you can get exactly what you're promised. And the way that we work with our customers and the way that we train our people is to make sure that we're able to accomplish the end result that our customers are really looking at solar in the first place for.
But we'd love to sit down with you, take a look at your bill, look at your needs, and show you what options you have. If it makes sense, move forward with it. And if it doesn't make sense, at least you looked at it. Call us, or you can go to the website and set up an appointment. We'd love to come sit down and meet with you.
A recent survey of teachers indicated that the top 3 supplies needed and used are pencils, dry erase markers, and notebooks. So if you're looking to donate to your school, keep that in mind. And while you have out that #2 pencil, take note of what's to come here on the show. The Arizona Science Center has an exhibit you don't want to miss, and a trip to the Hotel Valley Ho to learn about its place in history. Lesson for you. The 1950s Hotel Valley Ho in Scottsdale used to be the place for Hollywood stars. Now it has a special place in Arizona history.
The hotel was built in 1956. It was the brainchild of primarily 3 people that owned and operated the Westward Ho in downtown Phoenix, John Mills and Robert Nevelin Fail. It was a very high-end hotel, very much like it is again today. When you look at the hotel, when you drive up to the hotel, one of the first things you notice are the 300+ pound poured concrete panels, which really gives a hotel, in my opinion, its signature look. Back in 1956, this hotel was a huge draw for big names from Hollywood. Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood had their first wedding reception here. It was a huge Hollywood party. Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh were guests of the hotel. As a matter of fact, Jimmy Durante, he was a frequent guest of the hotel as well. I am sure there were many other Hollywood stars that stayed here because Scottsdale was becoming known as a place to be. The modernist movement at the time, mid-century architecture, was experimental. These architects were trying new things and very exciting, cutting-edge type of architecture. The preservation of mid-century architecture, I think, is extremely important, of good mid-century architecture. For one thing, it's good for the environment. They estimate they saved over 30,000 tons of debris from going to a landfill by preserving this hotel and not tearing it down. That being said, when you walk into the lobby, there is a fabulous fireplace that is all new to the renovation, and in the basin is heat-tempered glass, which is very expensive if you went out to buy it. However, while the hotel was under renovation, one of the large bay windows fell out. That's heat-tempered glass. They processed it. That's the glass that's in the fireplace, and I just think that is extremely cool. With the interior design, the furniture and all that they used, they were extremely careful to pay tribute. None of it's a knockoff. The lobby itself is pretty much original, what you would have seen in 1956. As a matter of fact, this is sometimes referred to as the Jetsons in the desert. We would like to invite you to see the hotel up close and personal. We offer the Magical History Tour, which is $19.56 a person, the year the hotel opened. And all you have to do is contact the hotel and I will do the tours.
Summer vacation may be coming to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop, especially with a one-of-a-kind experience for the entire family right now at the Arizona Science Center with the Mummy exhibit.
Hey everybody, I'm Sari Custer, Chief Curiosity Officer at Arizona Science Center and also host of Sari on Science. You may have heard, right now at the Science Center we have Mummies of the World, the exhibition, the largest collection of real mummies ever assembled. And today, I'm going to take you on a little sneak peek and show you some of my favorites. So come on, let's go take a look. All right, so as our first stop on this sneak peek, we're going to the Egyptian section because, of course, as soon as you say mummies, everybody thinks Egyptian mummies. Well, we have those for you, don't worry. And we're gonna start off looking at Nesmin and Neshor. These two beautiful mummies are both priests that lived about 2,500 years ago. Yes, 2,500 years ago. They're incredibly preserved. The wrappings are exposed here so that you can see some of the process, see everything from the painting to the burial helmet, and even on display are some of their really incredible artifacts that would have been buried with them. My favorite artifact in this piece of the exhibition are the ushabtis. Now, the higher status you were, the more ushabtis would be buried with you, and these were going to be your servants in the afterlife. So they're going to take care of everything you needed. Another one of my favorite sections is this section, telling the story of the Orlovich family from Vats, Hungary. Unlike the Egyptian mummies that were done as part of a cultural practice, these mummies were naturally preserved. They were found underneath a church with 265 other mummies, and it was just the perfect conditions, the fact that the air was blowing through, it was cool, it was dry, and even that they were buried in pine boxes to help keep pests away. They're wonderfully preserved and have incredible stories because of the church records. And unfortunately, the whole family suffered from tuberculosis. But science allows us to use those mummies and those stories to learn a little bit more about diseases today. So continuing our trip, looking at mummies around the world, we've seen Egypt, we've seen Hungary, and taking my final stop today in South America, where both unintentional natural preservation happened, but also my favorite fact that the Chinchorro people of South America actually started mummifying their loved ones more than 2,000 years before the Egyptians. Wow, I hope you enjoyed that sneak peek with me today, and I hope you saw something that sparked your curiosity. Now, Mummies of the World, the exhibition is only here for a limited time, so make sure you check out azscience.org for more information.
Studies show that students that don't have the proper school supplies will struggle, both with schoolwork and self-esteem. But with the proper school supplies, you can set your child up for the road to success. Still ahead on our show, we'll tell you all about how to help teachers this year by donating school supplies, and a furniture store with a wide selection for any decor. In session, and we find ourselves here at Treasures for Teachers that provide supplies for educators here in Arizona, and I'm joined by Executive Director Barb Blaylock once again. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Let's just continue to dive in what Treasures for Teachers is all about.
Okay.
Expanding just a little bit on the supplies you'll find here and how the teachers will interact here.
They're going to find a lot of books. So right now we're doing a really great buy one $5 bag of books, get one for free. So they get lots of books. So books are something, posters, crayons, markers, anything that you think of that you can use in the classroom, we probably have it.
Yeah, you do have a lot of things. So exactly where do all these supplies come from?
So they come from the community. 100% of everything that we have comes from the community. So businesses like Intel, Motorola, IKEA, just all different businesses all over the valley. And then we also have individuals and a lot of retired teachers. A lot of retired teachers bring their supplies here, and it really makes them feel good because they know that the supplies are going to go back into a classroom.
And you have this space here, but you also have a thrift shop next door.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
Yeah, we do. So about a year and a half ago, we were given the opportunity to have the space next door. We were already getting donations that were quite teacher related, but they had value. Mm-hmm. And so we opened a thrift store right next door. It's open to the public, and all the proceeds go back to providing free memberships to teachers. So in the thrift store, you're going to find basic thrift store type items, but we feel like we're a little bit more like a boutique, I guess you would say. Lots of really nice, good quality items that we're getting donated.
How can people donate to Treasures for Teachers?
So it's a couple of different ways. So first of all, they can come directly to us anytime right now, Tuesday through Saturday from 8:30 to 3:30, and they can just drop off just like they would in any other Goodwill or Salvation Army. Same in the West Valley. They can now drop off in the West Valley directly Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday between 9 and 2. And then we have a truck that goes out 5 days a week. And so if they have more than 20 boxes, all they have to do is give us a call and we'll get them on the schedule.
How have you personally seen Treasures for Teachers impact both teachers and students?
I see it every single day. And you know, from starting in my garage to where we are now, that we're in 20,000 square feet, I just can't even imagine that we've grown from this size. So the need is great. And every day I have teachers thank me, give me a hug, tell me that they don't know what they do without the organization. And really that is the best reward that we could ever ask for.
Well, I'm going to thank you as well for your time. And for those of you watching who also want to be a part of Treasures for Teachers, you can help. So visit their website to find out how. Still ahead on the show, we'll take you to a furniture store with great prices and selection. Head back to school, you may need a new desk or furniture, and American Freight Furniture has the selection you need.
American Freight Furniture and Mattress was established in 1993, and for the past 25 years we've been helping customers save money on quality furniture and mattresses. American Freight Furniture and Mattresses offers low prices on quality furniture every day. so that way the consumer doesn't have to wait for a sale. We also offer a low price match guarantee. The most important things you should consider when purchasing new furniture is price, style, and value. We have over 160 locations and we are still growing. We offer our showroom and warehouse all in one, so you can receive same-day pickup or delivery on any in-stock item. So we have the best layaway. You come in, pick out what you like, put down whatever you feel comfortable with, and you pay on it every 2 weeks until you're ready. You can take as long as you need, up to 24 months, and there's no charge. We believe the best way to buy furniture is to try it before you buy it. With online purchasing, you can't actually touch or feel the furniture. Here at American Freight, you can come in, sit on the furniture, pick out the one you like the best, and get it that same day. How something looks online can be very different than what it looks like in person. Plus, trying it before you buy it avoids the hassle of a return process.
We want to thank everyone for having us out here at Treasures for Teachers today. If you are an educator, this is the place to be. As we mentioned, many teachers all across the state use their own funds to buy school supplies. If you'd like to help them out with donations or would like to volunteer your time, visit Treasures for Teachers website for more information. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kate Longworth. We'll see you next time on Arizona Living, Your Life, Your Style, where we help you live your best life.